The Cubs had a 3-game series against the Baltimore Orioles, so we're going to look over all 3 of those games. We're going to look at 1 went right and 1 went wrong. All of that is happening on this episode of Cubs 360. What's up, Cubs fans? This is Jack from Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 35 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Baltimore Orioles series, and just a few noteworthy things. With this series, the Cubs are now in the month of August, so as I mentioned in the trade deadline video that I made all that time ago, Willie Castro, Rogers, Kittredge, and Soroka are now on the Cubs, and Flexen, Bruhan, and Presley are off the roster. So just some information to refresh your memory as we head into this game, as we head into the first game of the Baltimore Orioles series, which took place on August 1st. So let's get right into it. In the top of the first, Cade Horton pitching for the Cubs. Holiday will get walked. Westberg struck out swinging. Holiday stole second. Henderson will get walked. Rushman will fly out to center, and O'Neill will fly out to center. In the bottom of the first, Rogers pitching for the Orioles. Horner will ground out to second. Tucker will line out to right, and Suzuki will foul out to first. In the top of the second, Cade Horton pitching for the Cubs again. Cowser will ground out to second, Mayo will strike out looking, and Carlson will ground out to second. In the bottom of the second now, Kelly will hit a base hit to left, PCA will hit a double to center to send Kelly to third, Swanson struck out swinging, Happ will hit a sac fly to right to score Kelly, PCA will go to third to make it 1-0 Cubs, and then Bush will fly out to center. In the top of the third now, Jackson will foul out to first, Holiday will hit a base hit to center, Westberg will ground it into a fielder's choice to third, Holiday's out at second. Henderson will ground out to first. In the bottom of the third now, Shaw will line out to right. Horner struck out swinging, and Tucker struck out swinging. In the top of the fourth now, Rushman will fly out to right. O'Neill will fly out to center, and Cowser struck out looking. In the bottom of the fourth now, Suzuki will fly out to center. Kelly struck out swinging, and PCA will ground out to second. In the top of the fifth, Mayo will get walked. Carlson will ground it into a double play. Jackson will reach out an infield single to short, and he got caught stealing second as Cade Horton was pitching to Jackson Holiday. In the bottom of the fifth now, Swanson will ground out to short, as well as Happ, and Bush will strike out looking. In the top of the sixth now, Thielbar pitching for the Cubs. Holiday will fly out to center, Westberg will ground out to Thielbar, and Henderson will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the sixth now, Shaw will hit a double to left, Nico Horner strikes out swinging, Tucker will ground out to short, Shaw will go to third, and Suzuki will strike out looking. In the top of the seventh, Kittredge making his Cubs debut in this game. He goes against his former team, the Baltimore Orioles, as Rushman will line out to left, O'Neill struck out swinging, and Cowser struck out looking. So 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Kittredge. In the bottom of the seventh now, Kelly will hit a base hit to left, PCA will foul out to third, Kelly will go to second, Dansby Swanson struck out swinging, and Happ will line out to left. In the top of the eighth now, Keller pitching for the Cubs, Mayo struck out swinging, Carlson gets walked, Jackson will strike out swinging, and Holiday will fly out to center. In the bottom of the eighth, Bush will ground out to first, Shaw will pop out to first, and Nico Horner will fly out to center. Palencia in the top of the ninth for the Cubs, Westberg will pop out to short, Henderson flies out to left, Rushman will hit a double to left, Adams will pinch run for Rushman, but then O'Neill will fly out to left to end the game. The Cubs get the win 1-0 against the Baltimore Orioles. Cade Horton with the win, who went 5 innings pitched. He gave up only 2 hits. He had 3 strikeouts. Rogers with the loss, who went 8 innings pitched with only 1 earned run and 4 hits, with 8 strikeouts, and Palencia with his 15th save of the year. So, with that said, my 3 stars for this game, Palencia was my 3rd star with the save. He only gave up a hit. Ian Happ was my 2nd star, who went 0 for 2 with the only RBI for this game. And Cade Horton was my 1st star, who went 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits and 3 strikeouts. So, classic defensive ball game for the Chicago Cubs. They only win 1-0, and they have a chance to double up their series lead in game number 2. So in game number 2, before we get into the game here, as most of you know, on the first game of the Milwaukee Brewers series, Cubs legend Ryne Sandberg passed away at the age of 65 years old. And with that said, the Cubs are honoring Ryne Sandberg in this game by wearing blue number 23 jerseys in his honor. So with that said, this is the Ryan Sandberg remembrance game for the Chicago Cubs, so they're playing with a little bit of spirit in this game. But with that said, let's go to the top of the first. Boyd pitching for the Cubs. Holiday will ground out to second. Westberg will ground out to third. Henderson will reach on an infield single to second, and Rushman will line out to left. Sugano pitching for the Baltimore Orioles in this game. Bush will fly out to left. Tucker struck out swinging, and Suzuki will fly out to center. In the top of the second now, Mayo will strike out swinging. Carlson will line out to right, and Kowser struck out looking. In the bottom of the second now, PCA will ground out to second. Happ will hit a double to right. Castro will hit a base hit to left. Horner will hit a ground rule double to score Happ. Castro will go to third to make it 1-0. And Castro is making his Cubs debut in this game as well. McGuire will hit a sac fly to left to score Castro to make it 2-0 Cubs, and then Shaw will strike out swinging. In the top of the third, Jackson will pop out to second. Vasquez, Cubs legend Luis Vasquez, will fly out to center, and Holiday will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the third now, Bush will ground out to first. Tucker will foul out to left. Suzuki will get walked, and PCA struck out swinging. In the top of the fourth now, Westberg will hit a base hit to center. He got picked off first. Henderson will line out to short. Rushman will hit a double to left, and Mayo will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the fourth now, Happ will fly out to right. Castro will hit a triple to center. Nico Horner will hit a base hit to right to score Castro to make it 3-0. McGuire will fly out to center. Shaw is safe at first on a throwing error by Westberg, and Horner is safe at third on the error, but then Bush will fly out to center to end the inning. In the top of the fifth, Carlson will ground out to Boyd. Kowser will strike out swinging. Jackson will reach on an infield single to short, and Vasquez struck out swinging. In the bottom of the fifth, Tucker struck out looking. Suzuki will ground out to second, and PCA struck out looking. In the top of the sixth, Holiday will ground out to second. Westberg struck out swinging, and Henderson struck out swinging as well. In the bottom of the sixth, Martin pitching for the Orioles. Happ will fly out to left, as well as Castro. Nico Horner will hit a base hit to right. McGuire will reach on a bunt single to Martin, and Horner will go to second, but then Shaw struck out swinging. In the top of the seventh, Rushman will fly out to right. Mayo will ground out to short, as well as Carlson. In the bottom of the seventh, Wolfram pitching for the Orioles, as Bush will strike out looking. Tucker will hit a base at the center. Suzuki will get walked, and Tucker will go to second. PCA struck out swinging, and Happ will ground out to Wolfram. In the top of the eighth, Brazier pitching for the Cubs. Kowser will get walked. Jackson will hit a base at the center, and Kowser will go to second. Vavra will hit a pinch hit for Vasquez as he lines out to short. Thielbar will go in for the Cubs as Holiday will ground into a fielder's race to short. Jackson is out at second. Kowser will go to third. Westberg will hit a base to right to score Kowser. Holiday will go to second to make it 3-1. But then Henderson will hit a home run right center field to blow the 3-0 lead the Cubs once had entering this inning. And the Orioles take a 1-run lead 4-3 as Rushman will get walked and Mayo will ground out to third. Cano pitching for the Orioles in the bottom of the eighth. Holiday is at short, Adams is in right, and Vavra is at second. Castro will line out to left, Horner will ground out to short, and McGuire struck out swinging. In the top of the ninth, Rogers pitching for the Cubs as he makes his Cubs debut here. Carlson struck out looking, Kowser will ground out to second, and Adams will ground out to third. Akeen pitching for the Orioles in the bottom of the ninth as Shaw will ground out to short. Kelly will pinch hit for Bush as he gets walked. Birdie will pinch run for Kelly as Turner struck out swinging. Suzuki gets walked and Birdie will go to second, but then PCA struck out swinging. So the Cubs lose on Ryan Sandberg Day, and they blew the 3-0 lead. They lose 4-3 in this game. The win goes to Wolfram, who's 2-0 on the year. He had one inning pitched, and in that inning, he only gave up a hit. He had 2 strikeouts. Thielbar with the loss, who's 2-3 on the year. 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 2 earned runs and 2 hits, and the save goes to Akeen, his first of the season, with 2 strikeouts in the lone inning he pitched. So, again, the Cubs just found a way to lose that game in the 8th inning, and they couldn't recover from it, but the series is tied at 1 game apiece, and they do have a chance to take the series in game number 3. So in game number 3, Colin Ray pitching for the Cubs. Holiday struck out looking. Westberg will fly out to right. Henderson will hit a base hit to right. And Rushman will ground out to third. In the bottom of the first, Young pitching for the Orioles. Bush is safe at first on a fielding error by Jackson. Bush is safe at second. Tucker will hit his sac bunt to Young as Bush will go to third. Suzuki will hit a base hit to right to score Bush to make it 1-0 Cubs. And then PCA will line up to second. Kelly will get walked. Suzuki will go to second. And Happ will hit a double to right. Suzuki will score, and Kelly is thrown out at home to end the inning. It is 2-0 Cubs. In the top of the second, Jackson will get walked. Kowser struck out looking. Carlson will ground out to Ray as Jackson will go to second, and Mayo will fly out to right. In the bottom of the second now, Castro will ground out to third. Horner hits a base hit to right. Swanson struck out looking. Bush will hit a base hit to right. Horner will go to third, and Tucker will ground out to second. In the top of the third, Jackson got hit by the pitch, and that is A. Jackson. So with that said, Holiday will hit a base hit to left as Jackson will go to second. Westberg will fly out to right as Jackson will go to third. Henderson will ground it into a fielder's choice to short. Jackson will score, and Holiday is out at second. And Henderson got caught stealing second as Colin Ray was pitching to Rushman. In the bottom of the third now, Suzuki will strike out swinging. PCA will strike out swinging as well as Kelly will fly out to right. In the top of the fourth, Rushman will hit a double to left. Jay Jackson will ground out to short and Rushman to third. And Cowser will hit a base hit to right. Rushman will score to tie the game at 2 as Carlson will fly out to right. Mayo will ground it into a fielder's choice to third, and Cowser is out at second. In the bottom of the fourth now, Happ will ground out to third, as well as Castro, and Horner will ground out to the catcher. In the top of the fifth now, Jackson will strike out swinging. Holiday struck out swinging as well. Westbrook will hit a base hit to center as Pomerantz goes in for the Cubs, as Henderson will get walked and Rushman struck out swinging. In the bottom of the fifth now, Swanson struck out swinging. Bush will get walked. Tucker will hit a base hit to right to send Bush to second. Suzuki will fly out to left and send Bush to third. Ends pitching for the Orioles here as PCA struck out swinging. In the top of the sixth now, Jay Jackson will fly out to right. Cowser struck out swinging, and Carlson will fly out to left. In the bottom of the sixth, Adams is in center, and Carlson is in right. Kelly will ground out to short. Happ will line out to third. Castro will hit a base hit to right. Nico Horner will hit a base hit to center. Castro will go to third. Swanson will hit a base hit to center to score Castro. Horner will go to second to make it 3-2 in favor of the Cubs as Bush struck out looking. Kittredge pitching for the Cubs in the top of the seventh. May will fly out to center. Jackson struck out looking, and Holiday will fly out to left. In the bottom of the seventh now, Tucker will hit a base hit to center. Suzuki will hit a base hit to center and send Tucker to second. PCA struck out swinging as Stroud goes in for the Baltimore Orioles, and Kelly will ground it into a double play. In the top of the eighth, Keller pitching for the Cubs. Westberg gets walked. Henderson struck out looking. Rushman will strike out looking as well as Adams will line out to center. Stroud still pitching for the Orioles in the bottom of the eighth. Happ will line out to center. Castro struck out swinging, and Nico Horner will ground out to short. Palencia goes in for the Cubs in the top of the ninth as Shaw will go to third. Cowser will hit a double to right. Carlson will line out to left. Mayo struck out looking as Noda will pinch it for Jackson as he hits a base hit to right to score Cowser to tie the game at 3. Noda still second, and Holiday will fly out to short. In the bottom of the ninth now, Akeen pitching for the Orioles. Rushman is catching. Swanson is safe at first on a throwing error by Westberg. Turner will pinch it for Bush, and he hits a walk-off home run to left center field to win the game 5-3 for the Cubs as they take the series. So my 3 stars for this game: Ian Happ was my third star with an RBI who went 1 for 4. Seiya Suzuki was my second star who went 2 for 4 with an RBI. And undoubtedly, Justin Turner was the first star who went 1 for 1 with a walk-off home run with 2 RBIs. And the win went to Palencia, who was 1-2 on the year. He gave up 1 earned run and 2 hits in the lone inning he pitched with only 1 strikeout. Akeen with the loss, who's 3-1, who gave up the earned run and the hit. So at the end of the series, the Cubs are 65-46, and the Orioles are 51-61, as the Cubs take 2 out of 3 from the series from the Baltimore Orioles, and they're looking good right now. So first series in August, first series after the trade deadline, and you get to see 3 of those guys, and you could argue they've all looked really good to start out with the Cubs. So with that said, give me your thoughts on this series in the comment section down below. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. And that's all I got to say in this one. So this is Jack from Cubs360. And as always, go Cubs go.